It's Thursday. Time for some wrestling stuff. DA Wrestling. I'm Andrew. By myself. C'est la vie. This is DA Wrestling. Let's get going. We got some stuff to talk about here. Well, let's go. All right, today's show, we're going to be talking the Shawn Spears North American title win, how exciting that is. We're going to be talking about, too, a little bit of WWE Roadblock coming up next week, right, on NXT. We're going to be doing predictions on that one. Talk a little bit of AEW Revolution, which happens this Saturday. Little predictions maybe on there, too. Anyway, guys, though, before anything else, we're also going to mention, too, a bit of the Britt Baker situation, too, because there was some stuff that came out, and we'll address it a little bit. Anyway, if you guys are enjoying the content here, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. I'm Andrew. Right? We appreciate everything you guys need to do. Thank you very much. It's a small click for you, giant click for us. We thank you very much for all the support and all that stuff. But let's get to it, though. On this week's NXT, we had done this on Wednesday, but a little bit busy with other things. Happens, life. On NXT this week, Shawn Spears ended up winning the capturing the North American title in NXT. Now, if you guys remember his first run there as Ty Dillinger, right, wasn't the greatest. He was more or less a jobber. Here, though, Shawn Spears has really changed his character up to mind. He did that also in AEW, right? Very decently popular in AEW, and believing for a lot of reasons. Came back to WWE. Excellent to see him win the North American title off of Tony D. Although it wasn't with some controversy. Those stacks did get involved a little bit, but not enough to really affect Tony D from losing that match. Affected a little bit, but not too much. And when he hit Tony D off the apron, Tony D's back was already sore. He really sold the back in the whole thing here. But it's great to see Shawn Spears actually become the North American champion, right? It's one of those guys who, like, from what I can remember, is like a career non-champion in most of these organizations. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, anybody. Please comment down below if I'm wrong, because it's a possibility I might be on this one, because I don't recall him ever winning a title at all in NXT, let alone in AEW. So it's not a bad, it's a great thing for him now. His obviously his second run here in NXT has been a lot better than his first run ever was. He's matured a lot. Right? He's a better wrestler, I say, than he was back when he was Ty Dillinger. So it's great to see that he's done a whole lot of things going on and doing much better in NXT this time around. It shows the maturity he has now. Good job for a Canadian fella. Let's talk about the Britt Baker situation. Now, Wrestle Votes came out with a thing saying that Britt Baker has been released. Now, normally that'd be huge news, and it would be. Unfortunately, though, nothing from anybody else has really said that Britt Baker has been released. She, from what I understand, is still under contract with AEW, right? She thinks she has still a year left. She's just not doing anything. She's probably focusing more on her dental practice, so she is a legitimate dentist, and she is living in Florida. So whenever Britt comes back, hopefully she does come back. If not, if she does happen to get released, where do you guys think she's going to go? I wouldn't mind seeing her in WWE. I think she'd be great in WWE, possibly even starting in NXT. But she does have that thriving dental business, so it's not like she's concerned that much. She has her dental practice. That's what she's always wanted to do, is be a dentist. Right? Her legitimate DMD is a legitimate thing. It's not even like a fake thing. It's legitimate. She can actually fix your teeth. If I ever decide to go to Florida, again, I might go get my teeth done by Britt Baker. Why the hell not? Something to do. But if she does ever happen to leave AEW, I look forward to probably seeing her in WWE. It might not be right away. It might be some time after, but who knows, depending on what Britt Baker wants to do. It's not like she hasn't been on WWE TV before when she was dating Adam Cole. There was one match, I believe it was one of the Johnny Gargano matches, where Adam took a really bad fall, and she was there. I believe it was one of the NXT takeovers. Look for it on the Netflix. It's quite interesting. You'll see Britt Baker right there. Um, Also, I mentioned this in the things there, but we're going to talk a little bit too. Stephanie Bakir was on Busted Open Radio this week, and she talked to Bully Ray or Bubble Ray, whatever you want to call him, the Dudley, and she just talked about what her reasons were for going to NXT. Right, talking about why, like her time in CMLL, right, time in Japan. Like this girl's been on her own, left Chile when she was like 19 years old, right, on her own in Mexico, right, learning, but not by law. She explained a lot how CMLL, you don't really, you know how to wrestle. They teach you. They don't really teach you there. They don't really ask for help. Whereas NXT now, she gets a lot of help. She asks for help, and they give her help and all that stuff, like, to become better and better, right? And it shows the kind of faith they have in her, right? She says that in NXT, she could have went to the main roster if she wanted to, but she chose to go to NXT first because she wanted to work on her English a lot better. Because obviously in WWE, especially on the main card, you do a lot more talking compared to say NXT. It's most of the time. So she wanted to get better at English, improve some more things. She does jujitsu on the side just for fun. She does not do competition and stuff. She just does it for fun. So it's really interesting to see like the interview she had. I finally recommend you go take a look and watch it. The interview between Bully Ray and Stephanie Bakir is really interesting. She got Bully Ray some of his own horns, which is kind of cool. So it was. I think take a look at it. She's really great. Right? I know I enjoy Stephanie Bakir for a lot of reasons. Right? But take a look at the interview. Right? It's very interesting. Very interesting. It's like 34, 35 minutes. It's really not that long at all. Sit down while you're taking a dump. Fine. All right. Moving on. We have NXT Roadblock next week coming up. Let's talk about this for a little bit. A couple big title matches going on the card there, right? Possibly, maybe even the last match for a certain individual. Now I keep on saying this sometimes, but it keeps on coming back. But we're gonna go through the card. So next week, at NXT Roadblock, which is now basically just on free TV for the most part, right? Remember, it used to be like an actual pay per view, like briefly. It was like a wet fart. It was just like real brief. They did one. I think the first one was WWE Roadblock. It was in Toronto at the Rico Coliseum. I believe it was Dean Ambrose versus Triple H for the world title. I think it was the actual main event. Really cool, actually. They're doing NXT Roadblock. Right? It is taking place at the theater at Madison Square Garden. No, it's not like the actual garden, but I guess like this is an offset there. I've never been to the garden, Madison Square Garden in New York, so I'm not too sure really what they mean by it. But I'm assuming it's an offsuit of the garden. So right now they've announced 5 matches for the card. We're going to the first one here. It's going to be Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez. Now, there is no way in hell that Roxanne Perez is winning this. Jordynne Grace is going to win this match. It's going to probably be a very good match, but Jordynne Grace probably end up winning, right, with her finisher, right? And it looks like Roxanne Perez is going to do the honors, like putting people over to get people over in NXT. Obviously, Jordynne Grace being somebody like Roxanne Perez, who's been an NXT staple for a very long time at this point now, will be hell of a good for Jordynne Grace. And it'll like help her out a ton. So look for Jordynne Grace to win that here. We're also having Javon Evans versus Ethan Page in a New York street fight. I'm going to say Ethan Page is going to win this one, but it's probably going to be Javon Evans. They're also going to even it out there. Right? They did have a match recently, right, where Ethan Page won. I can see Javon Evans winning this one too. Then doing a rubber match, probably a Stand and Deliver. Because it's not that far away from Stand and Deliver, folks. We are still probably about 3-4 weeks away, but we're not that far. Look for Javon Evans to win that one. All right, tag team matchup here for tag team world TNA World Tag Team titles. You got the Hardys versus Fraxium. Eventually, this whole partnership is going to lead to some title being changed over to the other side. It has to work. So everybody just really thinks are really going to work because this just makes no point. It makes no sense to me. But I don't think that's going to happen at least tonight. At least on that note card. I think the Hardys are going to win this one. I think it's going to be a hell of a good match for the Hardys and Fraxium. Right? It's really going to put Fraxium really more so on the map. Especially if they beat the Hardys. I mean, that's not going to happen. But it's a good possibility that's going to be probably match tonight. Maybe. I'm saying maybe. I'm not saying it will be. I'm saying maybe. Right? So I'm looking for the Hardys to win this one. Obviously, with the Twist of Fate and Swanton for the end of it, probably going to be on Nathan Frazier. That's my guess. Right? But it could also land down the line of another tag team possibly winning the tag team titles, those TNA titles off of the Hardys. Or the Hardys win the NXT titles. Now, I think if Fraxium win this one, you could see the Hardys reface them again for the NXT titles at Stand and Deliver. That might be where this is going. We have the title for title match. Julia versus my lady, Stephanie Vakir. The current and newly crowned, really, North American champion. Both women have held these titles before. Now, I mentioned actually last week's show that Julia has a broken hand or some kind of injury. I heard it was a hand. This is going to be a way to take the title off of her. It's definitely early for this match. I still think it's very, very early for this match, but I understand where they're coming from on this. By looking for Stephanie Vakir to win this match here, I don't think Julia's going to win based on the fact that she is the one injured. I think it's going to be still a great match. She's going to put a hell of an effort into it. And I think, bottom line of the day, you're going to have Stephanie Vakir hold both titles. I don't know what they're going to do with it after. It'll be hard to say if they're going to actually have her take away the North American titles, have her be the NXT champion. But it's definitely fast-tracking Stephanie Vakir a lot faster than people maybe thought. Right? Or, well, yeah. I don't think anybody's going to get involved in this, right? I doubt you have someone like Cora Jade. Obviously, looks like she got a little bit injured, but she's apparently fine. So I don't think she'll be her. She got injured on NXT this week against Jordan Gray, so I don't think it'll be her doing any kind of interference there. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on, what they're going to do with the North American Women's title after that. I don't know if they're going to have her hold both titles. But now she might. It's not like she hasn't done this before. She has. In New Japan, along with NCMLL. So it's kind of like she's held both titles before in different organizations. So let's see what they do here with this. Moving on, though, to Obafemi versus Moose. This is going to be a hell of a great match. Look for Obafemi to win this one. But it's probably be the main. It's hard to say what's going to be the main event because you have the title for title match there. You have the Obafemi versus Moose match. They're both big matches. It's hard to say who's going to go first. But Obafemi versus Moose is one of those examples, too, where you can easily have Moose win this title and go forth both. I don't think it's going to happen. Obafemi kind of just got that title back in January. He's probably going to hold that belt probably to Stand and Deliver, if not past it. So look for Obafemi to win this one over Moose. It will be a hell of a good match, though. Right? Look for Moose to hit that spear at some point and Obafemi just to powerbomb the crap out of him. So we'll see what happens. Also, we have AEW Revolution this weekend. There's a few things I want to go over on AEW Revolution this weekend because you know what? It's hard to say because I've really been paying attention a lot to AEW lately. It's not to me, it's kind of like been very dull. I used to watch a lot of it too, but I find it lately it's been very come see, come saw. Obviously, Will Ospreay there. Speaking of Will Ospreay is having a match against Kyle Fletcher. Now, I think Will Ospreay is going to win this match. Right? If I'm correct, Kyle Fletcher won the last one. Right? This is probably going to be a three tier match here. It will eventually be a rubber match down the line. Look for Ospreay to probably win this one. Right? Probably with the hidden blade on Kyle Fletcher, but Kyle Fletcher's come a hell of a long way there. You can almost argue he's not even in the shadow. He's not in the shadow of Will Ospreay at all at this point. Right? Other match on the card. You're going to have Gucci Okada putting up his Continental Championship against Brody King. Yeah, I don't see Brody winning this. I would love to see Brody King win it. Just don't see it though. To me, just like Okada winning it. Like unless you're gonna take that title off of Okada, so Okada can go off and go for the world title. Then I don't see it. I don't see Okada lose this at all. So I'll promote Okada on that one. MJF versus Hangman Page. Obviously, the hottest storyline going on in AEW right now, right? MJF literally almost tried to burn Hangman alive. Kind of ironic how that worked out. It's hard to pick this one. I almost want to say so. Just go to a no contest. But if anything, I'd probably say Hangman's going to win this. If anything, Hangman's going to win. I can't really give you a reason why. It's just like they're both sinister. Obviously, Hangman's going more and more towards the face side, back to this redemption thing of Hangman. So I can see Hangman winning just based on that. Being the dastardly heel, which is MJF. So I'm gonna go with that. But look for DeBoss to even be thrown out in general because this fight just get way too crazy. It's based as a singles match. It's not a no DQ. It's a straight singles match. Also, we're gonna have Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Also, a pretty big storyline going on in AEW right now. The Ricochet character has developed, has become like that sniveling little crap that you just want to kick the crap out of. And this happens to be for the number one contendership for the AEW title. Do I see AEW fucking pulling the trigger on this one for Ricochet to win and go for the AEW title? No, not in the slightest. I see Swerve getting his revenge, beating the crap out of Ricochet. Probably one of the better cards. Well, you have Ricochet, you have Ospreay there versus Kyle Fletcher. That's probably match of the night. But this will be a close second. Thomas Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Much as I want Mariah May to win that belt back, and I think she should, she won't. Tony Storm's going to win this match there, right? She just got the title back recently, right? There's no way they're going to flip the title like that. They're just playing hot potato card. Nobody likes playing hot potato with a title. So AEW's not going to do that. As much as I think Mariah May should just kept the title win, I knew she was going to lose. So look for Tony Storm here to keep the title here. Probably end the feud with Mariah May, which they may revisit later on down the line. We have Kazuchika we have Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega for the International Championship. Kenny's winning, folks. Kenny's going to win the international title. There's no way he's not. Simple as that. Do I have to explain why? It will be a fantastic match. Up and down the card, it's going to be a great match, great match, great match, great match. Simple as that. It's going to be a hell of a good wrestling match. If you want to go there and watch good wrestling for that whole card there, but you're going to be fine. Seriously. And finally, we have Jon Moxley versus Cope. Now, obviously, this stuff with Jon Moxley lately has been kind of dying down a lot more, too. We saw on this week's Dynamite there, losing Wheeler Yuta. It could be a ploy. It's not like the first time we haven't seen this ploy crap before. But Wheeler Yuta could have very well had enough of Jon Moxley here. I'm not thinking, I don't think Copeland's going to beat Jon Moxley there. I said before in the past, it's going to be probably Darby Allin that takes that belt off of Jon Moxley. But then again, it is Edge. Cope, as they call him now. It's hard to say it's hard to say that Copeland's not gonna win this match, but I don't think Copeland needs the title. I don't. I think Moxley's gonna beat Copeland, maybe with help of Wheeler Yuta, or maybe we're gonna try to screw Moxley. But I don't see Copeland winning this match at all. Right? I know, right? That's pretty much it, there, guys. Though, too, I'm not gonna go over the rest of the match there because obviously, Herc Syndicate versus Outriders. Herc Syndic's gonna win. All right. Mercedes Moné takes faking on somebody that's not gonna win. So There's not much else. I mean, the biggest match of the card, though, the Will Ospreay match, the Omega match, the Moxley Cope match, right? Those are the biggest matches on the card, right? The Ricochet Swerve match, those are the biggest ones, right? Obviously, it's a different type of card. If this was double or nothing, it's a different thing, right? Anyway, guys, that is pretty much the way I think for predictions for these things here too, right? Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below, right? Right? Comment, right? Follow us on Podbean as well as Spotify. Like I said, YouTube as well. All our socials, AMP 1982 at right DA Wrestling Sport, DA Wrestling or DA Sports, DA Sports on TikTok, as well as right D Lines 1991. Follow the compadre over there; he needs it. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. Have some great time there. We'll be back later on, probably this week, probably Saturday night, posting. Right, talking about SmackDown, what went on there, because we want to talk about Cody. Later, guys.